Welcome in everybody to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe P's Pia. With me, of course, is the Welsh. And it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, hanging out, talking baseball. And we've got some baseball to talk about, some more injuries to talk about. A rough day of betting, but I think there might be a few diamonds in the rough. But Welsh, it was a fun stream yesterday on the YouTube channel. We are live on our Twitch right now, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's the place to be to watch us live Monday through Friday, every single day. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel, free stuff alert. We're giving away a Nico Hoerner jersey. That's right, courtesy of our good friends at pristineauction.com. All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop your comments below, ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications, and that's it. You're automatically entered to win this glorious, autographed, very speedy Nico Hoerner jersey. Welsh, I heard that if you wear the jersey, you become faster. Just saying.
Well, then I'm going to get that jersey and I'm going to run some miles. And you know where I'm going to run to? No, Patty. It's beautiful in Patty. Kyren.
I can't wait for the bottom to drop out. Let's start here at the top. Let's start with it because Welsh is already teasing it. We did the waiver wire video. It's coming out today. We had a big debate about Kyren Paris. He went 2 for 4 with 2 more solo home runs yesterday, so half of his hits basically are home runs. And Welsh, all I'm going to say is this. It was a fastball low that he crushed on the second one. The first one was just left up over the plate. Both of them, got out. It's still the minor league ballpark. Let's not forget that, too. It's a spring training facility ballpark. As soon as everybody starts busting him inside and throwing him soft stuff away, I can't wait to see the adjustments of Kyren Paris. I understand he looks better. I understand he's made some adjustments to the swing. He's physically stronger. I saw the breakdown and everything. I just don't know if you can change your stripes that much that quickly. So I'm still not buying. Maybe I'm just being stubborn. What do you think here, Peanuts and Cracker Jacks? Are you buying the Kyren Paris? I am not. But Welsh, certainly a good night for the Paris supporters.
Yeah, just convenient that you and I debate. I say Kyren, yes to Petty, and he goes off like that. Some of what you're saying is right. Like, he's already seeing breaking pitches, and he's hitting breaking pitches, by the way. So the domination is coming off of fastballs. He's hitting like over 500 against fastballs, but he's hitting almost 300 against breaking pitches. He's just not seeing off-speed stuff right now, and that's going to be the big change. He has not hit a changeup yet. He has not hit a curveball. He's getting sinkers and cutters in there. He's hitting over 333 against sliders. So, we pick a little bit on when this happens, he's obviously going to regress. He has an expected batting average of over 600. But as I say in the waiver wire video, which you can go and see the correct side of the debate be debated, is that barrel percentage way up. He's getting the ball in the air almost 3 times normal. He had averaged around a 5-degree launch angle his career. Spends the offseason with Judge's bat swing trainer over 15-degree launch angle. He's hitting the ball incredibly hard. He's cutting down the strikeouts. He will come back down to earth. But really the discussion is will he be this serviceable fantasy option? No player in MLB history, I believe, had ever had 5 homers and 4 stolen bases in the first 10 games of the season. He has a legit shot to season long be decent. You're just going to have to stomach when things do come back down. But I think things look really good right now, and he's worth speculating on, just maybe not at the cost of something awesome. And I was right. So,
let's ease up on the I was right.
Now, he could suck. He could totally suck. But is he a good pickup right now? Should you pick him up? Okay. Yes, you should. I'm going to bring you
back. Are you ready? I'm going to bring you back in the Wayback Machine to 2016. It was a fella named Tyler White. Played for the Astros. Do you remember Tyler White? I remember the April he had 5 home runs, 14 RBI. I can't believe my simple brain remembers these things. Slugged over 500. The OPS was well over 800. And then he disappeared. And look, I'm not saying Kyren Paris is headed down that path. What I am saying is a guy who has 300 career minor league games to his credit and still a slugging percentage under 400. I don't think all of a sudden becomes Aaron Judge just because he works with Aaron Judge.
But also, I want
him trade him. This is the peak of his value.
What in God's name would you get for Kyren Paris?
What I don't know, man. Every year there's a guy that is an illusion in April, and every year there's some sucker born every minute in every league that will say, this is the next big thing. This is the next big guy. And I would not be shocked if you could flip him. I'm not saying 1-for-1 for like, you're not getting Jose Ramirez for him 1-for-1, but in a package deal as a throw in, I'm just saying you might be able to get more value than you think.
If you could get something like a player that's, someone does something ridiculous of a guy that's really underperforming, like, sure, absolutely. My argument would be, I don't think you can get anything serviceable for Kyren Paris. But I also really want to point out in this, when he does come back down and there's also an attempt at it, and I told you so, I don't think that Kyren Paris is going to have a 30-30 season. I don't think Kyren Paris is the player you should go drop Luis Robert for, which everybody in the chat we found out yesterday was dropping Luis Robert for.
Oh my God. But trade for Robert everywhere. That's all anybody wanted to do.
But do I think
pick him up that somebody dropped him in their league? It was crazy yesterday.
But do I think when you're talking about who's available on the wire, should you pick up Kyren Paris? Yes, because he had spent an offseason of having a quantifiable change to his swing that is now working in the major leagues, and we are seeing a huge boost for it.
Physically much
so we should make a bet on that and then just see where it goes for a little bit. That's my big take, and he's going to come back down, and we'll just see what level it is. But boy, it was perfect timing yesterday.
Yes, a couple Oppo wall scratchers. Congratulations, Mad Max Fried, 11 strikeouts and a no decision against the Tigres. He's got a 1.56 ERA over his first 3 starts, so that's a good acquisition for the Yankees. Another acquisition for the Yankees we'll talk about later in headlines hasn't been quite as good. Kevin Gausman, 1 unearned run, 4 hits, 8 innings, no decision for him. He had 10 strikeouts, so 2 big strikeouts days from Gausman and Fried. Then you had Sandy Alcantara, who is going to return starting on Saturday. He was out on paternity leave. He was supposed to pitch last weekend on Sunday. Game got rained out, so he went. I assume the child has been born. All is well. He will be back on Saturday to pitch. In case you're wondering where Sandy Alcantara is going on. I don't know if he had a boy or a girl. I did not see that. Do you know? Run to Twitter.
I didn't see the reveal video of what type. Did you ever do a reveal video?
No. I like to know ahead of time, and then you just told people. That's what you did.
I was way before reveal videos, like my kids. I mean, my oldest is 12, so I just don't think they were around there. But yeah, they're like at 14 weeks. Like, you want to know? Like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not here for a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a surprise if you tell me now or a surprise on the day. I'd rather know. You know what else is a surprise? Some of these closer performances lately. Yikes. Let's start with the second Clase citizen. Emmanuel Clase gave up a run, did pick up a save, but it was shaky. His ERA is at 5.40. His whip is at 1.40. Blown save for Devin Williams. He was terrible. I understand it was chilly in Detroit, and maybe guys aren't feeling right, but his ERA is now up to 12 after that outing. And then Edwin Diaz, who's coming in a non-save situation and a couple days off there, he gave up 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2/3 of an inning. He looked dreadful. Clase, Devin Williams, Edwin Diaz. Who are you most concerned about when it comes to these 3?
I was literally, I didn't know if like you were going to kind of end the talking, and I was going to throw that at you, that exact question, because we got a decent amount of that in the live chat. Remember, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, Joey and I are here on, we're on the YouTube side live for a full hour just asking questions. And not only was it Luis Robert, it was also a whole lot of closer things, weird closer situations. Devin Williams came up a whole bunch. I think the one I would be worried about would be Edwin Diaz right now. I think we're seeing some velo dips on Edwin Diaz. I'm not worried about Devin Williams. I'm not worried. Clase kind of does this sometimes. It's a little squirrely in the beginning of the year, but I'm not worried about Clase at all. I'm not worried about Devin Williams. Edwin Diaz has me a little bit worried too, because like they're making do for the most part with the pieces of that rotation, but like he's critical in here. And I'm going to look because I believe last time, and I think you and I may have even looked, or maybe it was me and Bogman, but I think you've got velo downs on the fastball, which is going to be like critical to not. Yeah. So he was 97.5 last year. I guess it's ticked back up a little bit. It's 96.9. So it's nothing insane on the drop, but the slider is down a full mile per hour. So we're seeing some early decreases. Whiff rates are lower. I guess Edwin Diaz would be a little bit my worry.
Edwin Diaz is the most worrying to me. He hasn't been the same guy since he hurt his knee in the WBC. He just hasn't. He was untouchable, unhittable. The mental acumen there, obviously the confidence level, very different. He has not been the same pitcher since that injury. Period. End of story. Not in velocity, not in confidence. I'm not worried about Devin Williams. I'll be buying him. Clase, it's a little annoying. I don't have something mentally triggered for him last year in the postseason. Well, I mean, that happens sometimes, right? We've seen that. We've seen guys who are dominant, right? They go and they have a bad postseason, and then all of a sudden they just mentally never recover from that. Closing is a very weird job,
It is a
right?
very weird
It
job.
takes
Yeah.
a bit of a weirdo to do it well for a long period of time, or just a weirdo to do it in the first place. And Edwin Diaz to me is the one that is most concerning, which is why I wanted the Mets to get Tanner Scott in the offseason because I thought they needed the insurance policy more than other teams. But what are you going to do? But we'll put it out there. Let's do a poll. Can we do a poll on that one, or do we need to do that ahead of time? Is that for today or
No, I think
tomorrow?
Callie could probably roll a poll in there.
Michael
We've
Cal,
got
let's do a poll. Who are
a
you
roly
most
poly.
worried about? Are you most worried about Diaz, Clase, or Devin Williams? We'll put that up there and let you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, vote on that. Let's ask some questions here. Matt on the mound, Soriano, good streamer for today? Yes. He's pitched very well. I don't see why not. Welsh, you agree with that?
I do actually. That's going to be a part of a bet that I have got a little bit later today. But Soriano's been pretty solid so far this season, and Angels winning some games. So yeah, I think Soriano is a good stream on a pretty light day, by the way, very light Thursday baseball day.
Would you consider trading Tatis and Abreu for Rooker and Devers? Interesting. I say
Absolutely
no
not.
because I still want Tatis.
Yeah, absolutely not. I guess maybe that's built in some of the worry. Looks like, by the way, I think we're going to probably talk about it, but Tatis might be back on Friday. That's the hope.
Yeah.
But Rooker's kind of playing down a little bit. Devers has got some overall worries. The best player in the deal is Tatis. I get that there's like a downgrade to I like Wilyer Abreu. I don't even know if I would have done that preseason, maybe, but no, I would hold on to Tatis. First time chatter, by the way, on the Twitch. So shout out to whoever that was.
Look, Mariano Rivera was an interesting personality. He was a very different personality. He was.
Careful.
I'm just saying. But when you think of some of these closers too, over the years, you've had the big personalities, the Brian Wilsons of the world, Randy Myers, Rob Dibble. Like you just kind of go through. There's a little bit of a screw loose in most of these guys, and it helps because you have to be able to forget about bad times and move on the next day with something else. So. But Diaz is the one that's definitely troubling me. Let's get to some more news down on the farm. We talked about Logan Henderson last week. I brought him up to Welsh. We discussed it. Guess what? Another good start for Logan Henderson. So Milwaukee desperate for some help there in the rotation. 8 Ks, 5 innings on Wednesday in AAA. So Logan Henderson. Now the Nestor Cortez is hurt. Could we see Logan Henderson enter this rotation?
I think it is a possibility. Part of the problem is he really struggled with some command in those first 2 starts. I think he had like a 5-walk game. So kind of, getting his sea legs under him, his minor league legs under him is probably what they want to see before they throw him in the majors. But I don't remember where I said if it was on like a show or it was one of our shorts, but like I love Logan Henderson. He is built around being a command pitcher. He tries to hit the zone. He tried to hit like the pinpoint of the corners of the zone and stuff with the fastball and off speed. But I think Logan Henderson would be a fun streamer. But with the walk issues, I'd be probably careful about what that first start would be, but you should definitely take a look at him. And by the way, we got that poll up if you guys want to vote of the closer, which one, I guess, what is it? Who are you worried about? The 3, it's on the Twitch. So make sure you guys put that vote in and we'll take a look at it here in a second. Votes are starting to roll in. Oh, it just ended. Callie, you did a minute poll. So the official results were Edwin Diaz. I literally was promoting it and it was only a minute poll, but Edwin Diaz, 88% was it. So you can't vote. Don't vote. It's over.
You can't vote. Don't vote anymore. There you go. Look at Mike Mayer. True Red Sox fashion. Would Rivera's cutter even work with today's baseballs? Ooh la la.
I mean, the cutter is back in fashion. Garrett Crochet's retransforming his whole repertoire around the cutter. Yeah, we'd be fine. Rivera would be fine. He's not fine off the field right now, but he'd have been fine as a closer today.
All right. Also, rookie lookie, Nick Kurtz hit another home run. Stop me if you heard this one before. He's up to 6 now. He's hitting almost 400. Welsh, we got to find a place for this kid. This is just absurd. This is. I said this yesterday on the live stream. You can go back and watch it on demand there on the YouTube channel. It's under the live category. I think it's actually pinned to the top of the channel. I think the Athletics, with the American League being a little weak, can get in the playoffs this year. I really do. They've got to have some good bullpen working out there. They have Mason Miller in the ninth. That's already a good start. Bullpen's got to be solid. I think they can just beat other teams in a submission in that ballpark. It could be a really fun summer for the Athletics.
Maybe, but I mean, like they also have to have pitching to also not get absolutely bludgeoned in their same ballpark. Like Jeffrey Springs is fine, Severino is fine. The depth kind of goes back. I mean, they've got, a great closer. They've got some really interesting bats. I'm not going to say that they're going to make the playoffs because I don't think they're going to, but I do think they're a much sneakier team this year than thought before. They're walking more, top of their lineup. You use the A's, you just like LOL all over it. But now it's like, it's Butler and you got Rooker and Blade is starting to get going. Like they got Jacob Wilson continues to hit. Like they do have some dudes, but I'm not sure I buy them as like a playoff team. But you know what? Nick Kurtz there, he can bludgeon the baseball out of the field. We can keep saying it. Please find a spot for him. It is our daily Kurtz, and hopefully the Kurtz will be called very soon. Today, by the way, I believe being the last day of the PIP for if a guy wins Rookie of the Year, they can get an extra pick. Today would be the last call day, so I think that's kind of done.
What would you set the number for the Athletics to make the playoffs?
What do you mean, like what the odds right now?
The playoffs odds.
Well, I didn't know if you meant like their to win total or something like that. No, I would say, what is their record right now?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's say it's probably something along the lines of like 8-1,
plus 1,040.
Okay, so I was close-ish. So 10-1.
It's even bigger.
But what is their record right now, though?
Look, they need somebody to keep the ball down in that ballpark. They need Paul Blackburn back. Is actually what they need. They could use that kind of guy.
They're 5-8 right now. They're 4th in the West. You've got Houston is struggling. Angels are 7-4. Texas is 9-4. And Seattle is 5-8. Same record.
All those teams have holes.
It's a tough road for a team that. If they had another piece or two, maybe in the rotation, I would feel it. But what are they going to do? They're not going to go trade for Sandy Alcantara. They just were buying players so they don't get fined.
Luceros, Austin Wells was just dropped in their league. I have Yandy Diaz. Who would you rather have rest of season? Diaz was ranked so much higher than Wells going into the year, but
does he mean Yanier or Yanier or?
I believe he means Yanier Diaz.
Okay, yeah, because Yandy
I'm guessing it's a catcher
is
question.
A first baseman.
I'm just guessing for them.
I would rather have Yanier. And then, I mean, I don't really want a catcher outside a position player. Otherwise, like I like Austin Wells, but like I also want to point out he is stinking right now. This is L territory for me. XBA is 164. He's not barreling. He's hitting the ball hard, but not a lot else is happening. He's got to get those little tiny wall scrapers over and right, but he's not doing great right now. So I'd take the other side.
I want this question here. This is Whip. It's not even a question. It's a comment. CES was Nick Kurtz a couple of seasons ago. No. We did a full breakdown of Christian Encarnacion-Strand. What was the one thing I said to you, Welsh, when I watched him hit? I said he's got a lot of power, but the problem he's got a giant hitch in his swing. And when he gets to the big leagues, better pitching is going to overpower him because he's not fast enough to the baseball. And guess what? That's exactly what's been going on for the last 2 years. Nick Kurtz does not have that problem. Nick Kurtz is quick to the baseball. Kurtz has incredible power. I accidentally typed out yesterday in the show Mick Kurtz, which was funny. Somebody called me out on it. Like, oops, I made a spelling error. It autocorrected.
Called him Mick?
I told him Mick Kurtz. And I was like, somebody goes, oh, I can't wait to pick up Mick Kurtz. I was like, whoopsie, sorry. I made a mistake. Yeah. But they are not the same prospect. They're not the same guy. I feel much differently watch. And you can go back and watch it. It's on tape. Good luck finding it.
They also might be more saying that like the whole we want CES to come up and there wasn't room and they weren't good. They might not be talking about like physical they're both kind of like big guys. I think they're very different players from seeing both in person. Literally, they both played in the AFL this past year. Ironically, Kurtz came in the second half. CES was around, but it might be more situational that person.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily for us, but yes, CES was a guy that everybody was freaking out in the analyst world, fantasy analyst world, but not this show, at least not this analyst. This is a good question. It's later in the show, we're going to talk about Pablo Lopez and injuries, but we might as well just talk about it here with the rookies too and the kids. Is Debbie Matthews worth an ad with Pablo injured? Yes. He was going to make at least one start, I think. I feel strongly about that. The question is, can he stick in that rotation, Welch, above somebody like Simeon Woods-Richardson?
Yeah, I think Simeon Woods is interesting. I think they're definitely comfortable with him. Like being like a long reliever if Zebby is really, really good. The thing that's great about Zebby is like he's a low walk guy, so he fits the mold of the Joe Ryans and the Pablo Lopez's. So yeah, I think there is a real potential that Zebby can stay in the rotation because there is like a foreseeable spot there. But he's going to have to be pretty good in the early onset. So again, I think Zebby is not a must add. He's not a player that you're going to drop like, Casey Mize for anything like that. But I think he's like a good streamer in a good matchup. Yeah. And then maybe there will be something more for it. But he middle line, deeper leagues, this is a better play. 10 team, it's not. 12 team, maybe.
Matthews or Henderson?
Matthews. Okay. Had they announced who is going to be coming? Did Zebby get announced yet?
Not officially yet, but that's the speculation that's going on. And maybe we get disappointed. Maybe it is just Festa. Who knows? Baby Billy wants to know, where do I go for the home run contest? Well, if you subscribe here on the Twitch, use your Amazon account, you get free access to the home run channel on our Discord,
which he did.
/chat, which he did because he's smart. So that's where you go. You go to your Discord, go to the home run call channel. You make your picks in there. That's all you got to do. And Welsh, do we have any newbies today to shout out?
Yeah, the baby Billy Bible
Uncle
Bonker.
Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy did subscribe like 16 minutes ago with Prime. So yeah, you go over to the FantasyPros.com/chat on the Discord, and you should then have all of your access. Also, our boy Tyler, who runs some of the social and hangs out in here, was in here, and a slew of new follows. Little Bund, nice. The most recent. So shout out to all you guys for the follows and the subs. Closing in on that 100 subs and closing in on those 700 followers on the Twitch.
Free sub card. Gotta love it. All right, let's get to the ups and downs. Jackson Chourio up 2 for 5 with a 3-run homer, 5 ribbies. Joe Ryan, 7 shutout innings, 2 hits allowed, and a win over the Royals. And Randy Arozarena had himself a day. A grand slam, drove in the game-winning run, too, with a bases-loaded walk. 7-6 and a W over the Astros. The downs. Last time Antonio Senzatela was on the mound, I went and attacked him, and it did not work out. This time I wish I had, because he gave up 8 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. Dean Kremer, not good. What a shock. The Orioles pitching staff struggling. Welsh. You go back and watch that rant from yesterday. Oh, God, are they bad. 6 runs.
Joe heard me too. Joe heard me off air too, because we were like talking about something, and it was like Corbin Carroll in the pool. And then when Pavin hit it, I was like, I'm the smartest man alive. I was very excited about that. They obliterated Mr. Dean.
Would you drop CES for Pavin Smith? Somebody asked me that about an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, Pavin's he's in the strong side platoon. I've made my cases about Pavin. CS is okay. I don't know. That's kind of that feels neutral-ish. Probably not, but maybe. That's not an answer. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't.
You know who else isn't an answer? Justin Verlander. He might have struck out 9 guys, but he gave up 6 runs. ERA is not good. So where are we at here when it comes to Justin Verlander? I mean, he's in his 40s now at this point. Welsh, are you somebody that's going to continue to roster Verlander?
I don't know. The ballpark was the thing that made you feel kind of good. He's had some glimpses, the strikeouts kind of get there. I just don't think I think it's going to be 4+ ERA all season long. If there was a fun string, like the Casey Mizes, I would have dropped him for Casey Mize. Maybe that's obvious. If I were, I'd have to look at the matchups, but let's say Zebby was going up against, like a Mariners team that's, kind of struggled-ish and strikes out a lot. White Sox, there you go. That's a better one. White Sox. I would be okay with dropping a guy like Verlander, just stream a guy like Zebby. Jackson Jobe is kind of fringy. Like, if there's anybody that's a little bit extra fun and worth it, I probably would end up dumping Verlander, because there'll be some wins. It's a competitive team. It's a competitive ballpark, but like, cool, you got all those strikeouts, but you're going to just get obliterated. I don't want to be around for those big ERA games, and I'm afraid that's going to chase him all season long.
This is what happens sometimes. A guy like Justin Verlander gets into his 40s, and he's not feeling as spry as he used to. Maybe it's time for him to try something new. Maybe it's time for Justin Verlander to try Kaisertrex. That's right. If something feels off with you lately, fatigue is lingering, recovery takes too long, and your performance isn't what it used to be, Justin Verlander, these might be signs of low testosterone, a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America, and Kaisertrex is an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men like you, Justin Verlander. It's not an injection, it's not a gel, it's a twice daily pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle, and I know Verlander's lifestyle is very active. Charlie Morton could also probably use a little of it too. Just saying. These guys are in their 40s and help restore your testosterone to optimal levels. Don't let low T hold you back. Visit Kaisertrex.com to learn more and find a provider near you who can help you get started. That's KYZATREX.com. KaiserTrex.com. By
go.
prescription only. Kyzertrex is a controlled substance that can be a target of abuse. Kyzertrex is not for use of pregnant women or men with prostate or breast cancer. Safety and efficacy in those younger than 18 is not known. Tell your doctor about medical conditions and medical serious side effects include increased blood pressure, worsening prostate symptoms, increased prostate cancer risk, blood clots, legs or lungs, decreased sperm count, liver problems, enlarged or painful breasts, breathing problems while you sleep, or a very high ERA. Common side effects often include swelling of the ankles, feet, or body, increased red blood cell count, increased prostate specific antigen or PSA levels, and PSA is a test used to detect prostate cancer. Report these symptoms to your doctor immediately. Call your doctor today to learn more about Kyzertrex. For questions or more information, visit www.kyzertrex.com, 1-833-949-5040.
Think you want to pick on the guy that's married to Kate Upton?
Yeah, why? He could take it. Life's gone pretty well for him. He's a millionaire. He's lived his dream. He's rich beyond his wildest dreams, married to a pretty lady. What? Yeah, I'll take my shots at Verlander.
Oh yeah, I think he's. Okay? I just think he's doing fine.
I remember the Verlander that I got for the Mets. It was underwhelming. So was Scherzer for the most part. So just saying.
I think he's doing just fine.
He is doing just fine, which is why he doesn't care right now. And maybe some Kyzertrex could help him. I'm trying to help him. Why do you think I'm not trolling him? Maybe
he's 2 months younger than me. Literally. Or no, I'm too much younger than him. I'm sorry. I'm too much younger than him.
Well, maybe you should think about it. I gave you the number. Go figure it out.
All right, you know what? Much more applicable to me than it would be Justin Verlander.
Just saying. The Whips nailed it. The poll lasted longer. Could have lasted longer than the Kyzertrex read. That would have been nice. That would have been nice.
By the way,
and
everyone
if you want your poll to last longer, Kyzertrex.
Everyone in the chat is bringing up Welshisms. Listen, everyone's got to understand just real quick. Welshisms don't need the Kyzertrex. We're very early in the season. Welshisms will come as I get exhausted and tired.
They have to be natural.
The season. Yeah. They will happen naturally. We're just too early into the season. We're gonna get burned. May and June. We got 6 months of this, baby. Just start collecting. Get ready. You know, I got a task for everybody. Here's what you can do. There's a great feature on Twitch that's called clipping. Everybody can do it, whether on your app or whatever, and you're watching, and you can clip moments of this podcast, and it will save. And on the Twitch, there's an area where you guys can show your clips. Clip all Welshisms. Let's have a whole thing of Welshisms through the whole year, and then we can come back and make a super cut of it. But I'm leaving it on you guys, so get ready. Clip the Welshisms, and we will save them, and we can all go back and have fun and laugh at my idiocy.
Perfect idea. Show us your clips.
There you go.
Twins manager Rocco Baldelli said Pablo Lopez will be placed on the 15-day IL. We thought that was the case yesterday, and of course it is the case. Good news on the injury front. Francisco Alvarez 1 for 3 on Wednesday, so that's good. Hand injuries can be very tricky, especially for a catcher. So this is positive news. That lineup could get even better potentially for the New York Mets. Padres manager Mike Shildt said that he's optimistic Fernando Tatis Jr. will play on Friday, as Welsh mentioned earlier in the show. So that is hopeful. Still a little concerned, Welsh. I'm not going to lie. It looked very painful. He looked like he was in a lot of pain in that swing. So I hope it was just a moment in time and we can get past it, but I am still a little worried. Nestor Cortez received a PRP injection in his left elbow. That's never a good thing. That rarely works. More to come on that. I would not be counting on Nestor Cortez. I'd be looking elsewhere. In fact, that's the guy that, Logan Henderson path is Nestor Cortez right now. Like, that's the easy path where that spot opens up. I know Tobias eventually comes back. Myers is coming back.
Tobias Harris is just about to come back, and Woodruff is going to come back in. Did I do Tobias Harris again? I did that yesterday on the Discord, and Enrico is like, "Are you looking at basketball again?" Tobias Myers. There's a Welshism right there. Tobias Myers is coming back here very shortly, and then Woodruff. So I don't know if the path is as easy, but to your point, they're just it's all banged around right now. He can. I think
what we can only hope for here, as Lard was talking about, will Paris ever face Ty France? Won't face them, but there could be a moment where Ty France is playing first base and Paris is on first, and you get the Paris France moment. That is what we were all waiting for. So get ready for it. It's going to happen at some point. We can only hope. There you go.
I love that.
You go. Cookie wants to know, after a month, Joe should do the Kyzertrex ad without a script and see how much of it he remembers. No, it's a terrible idea.
Your fast read there was very impressive. I kind of shooed past that. I do want you to know I was very impressed with how fast you did the the warnings or whatever.
Well, thank you very much. It's the small joys. Clark Schmidt is going to make another rehab assignment start on Thursday right here. AA Somerset, 15 minutes from my house. Will I go see it today? No, I'm not. I'm gonna instead make some pesto for the kids and some chicken and hang out and relax with my children and
Oh,
watch
okay,
Survivor
good.
because we watch Survivor on Thursday nights. No spoilers. No spoilers. Angels also, this happened right before the show, put Yohan Moncada on the 10-day IL with a thumb sprain. So once again, a career that has not gone the way people expected. Yohan Moncada, one of the all-time, I feel like, disappointments. That this was a player everybody was very excited about, bounced around, never figured it out, and it's just never going to happen. Am I right? Noah
Yeah.
Moncada, just not going to happen.
Yamankata now. That's what I used to say. By the way, we one time someone sent me it because I've always done the Yamankata now, and then a broadcaster did that, and we all like to assume that maybe I influenced it, which I probably clearly didn't. But dude, I saw Yamankata in the AFL when he was still a Red Sox. He was like the number one. He was one of the biggest prospects in the world, and he has spent more time on the IL than he has in major league games at this point. He has kind of just been a disaster. Offense is out. Defensively, it's just been blah. You hate to see it. You hate to see it because like what could have been, but you know that Angels team has just got they're weird right now to me. They're kind of towing the Rockies range where they got all these young guys. They've got Kyren Paris, they got Christian Moore. You know, they got these guys that could come up and they're just like, that's cool, but we could have Tim Anderson and Yohan Moncada. You guys don't need to get those guys out of there. Let the young guys eat.
Yeah. There was a Boston writer actually that tipped me off about Yohan Moncada, who I saw in New York, and it was at a baseball event, and I was asking him about the prospects and asking about Moncada, and he just basically said, not a good guy, not a good worker. He's like, he has a lot of talent, but he has a 10-cent head, basically told me. And I was like, really? And you know what? He was right. That person was very, very right, and I stayed away from Moncada because of that. I also had somebody, NFL version, this is true, you know, Jermaine Burton, who got drafted by the Bengals about a year or so ago. He, friend of mine who owns nightclubs, right? Apparently, he was a frequenter of some of these nightclubs, and he just said this guy's involved in all kinds of bad stuff. Basically, like just stay away from this dude. This dude's bad news. I know he's bad news in college, but I'm just saying, like this guy, he is just destined to, you know, get himself run out of the NFL. And there you go. So sometimes a little good information, a little underneath. You got to listen to the people down on the ground. That's what you got to do. Now today, this is a challenge. So it's still the best bets of the day, but it's the best bets that we can make today. It's not a great slate. So get ready, everybody, for the best bets
kind of today
with Joey P and the Welsh. That's what we're looking for. So the best things I can look at here are the two pitchers going against each other, Luzardo and Schwellenbach, both 5.5 Ks. It's too low of a number. I would invest in both of them, but it's a tight game. Normally, what I would do is I would take this number and pair it with one of the teams to win on the money line and get this into the positive, but this game could go either way. Therefore, I am going to stay away. Instead, just take the heavy juice, suck it up for a day. I was 0-3 yesterday. Misery. So angry about it. I attacked all the weak lineups, and Corey Seager single-handedly beat me. So mad about that still. And then Jose Ramirez in a good spot. 0.5 RBI, just one ribby. That's all he needs. Plus 140. That's a really good number. Plus money for Ramirez. Welsh, what are your best bets for today?
So I'm not going to pick on Callie here. Callie, if you looked and you saw some numbers different on FanDuel, that's fine. There's a little bit of different juices out here. Just want to throw out. It's almost even money on my Cleveland run line. Playing that Gavin Williams get back game. I got it at minus 102, but maybe it's minus 125. The first 5 Angels money line, that is plus 105. That is for the Angels to either, if it's tied, we'll just take our money back. If they're up with Jose Soriano, that's plus money. And Boston on the money line was not plus money when I got it. So if you can get it at plus money, that's great. It's minus 110 or 115 out there. Going to back Walker Buehler a little bit today. 2 things I want to say. If you remember yesterday, so it is Boston minus 110. If you look at yesterday, and I remember when I was like, hey, my process was like super cool, and I just didn't get the bets. My process stunk yesterday. It was not a good process yesterday. So big stinky loser.
Doesn't matter. My process was good, and then it turned out nothing worked. That's baseball. Baseball is a tougher sport to bet. It really is, especially in April, because you don't have enough of a sample size yet where you can really exploit a lot of stuff. So I tried to exploit all the injuries yesterday, and it unfortunately came back to bite me.
The one thing I will say, the clear thing, someone said it in the chat, you put it out there, you're backing Luzardo and Schwellenbach. I almost did the same thing. The strikeouts, even a 5 pairing you could do, they're both at 5.5. Here's the only thing, both of these teams don't have heavy strikeouts against the other side. Braves actually pretty good against lefties. There's not a whole ton of strikeout there. And then the same thing on the Philly side. I think it's like a 20% strikeout rate against righties. Schwellenbach's a monster. Luzardo's been a monster. It's also a weird matchup of teams that do well against that other side, don't strike out a whole bunch. So I'm kind of like fading away. I might play that one as an under 3.5 through the first 5. So that is under 4 runs to be scored through the first 5 innings, Luzardo and Schwellenbach, because they are monsters. And I think that's close to plus money out there. So go on your book, first 5, under 3.5 runs to the first 5. That actually might be my favorite bet. That's not even on there for the kind of best bets of
it's the mediocre
today.
Bets of the day today.
Yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow, much better. Let's take a look at the home run board from yesterday. God knows I didn't get one. Brutal. Welsh is still out there with 5. And look, you're the top of the 5s now, big boy.
Oh,
you excited?
Look at that.
Look at that. The winner's going to get that signed Sammy Sosa jersey, too. From
Could I get
auction. It? No.
I can win it. Last year, you said on this show, you purposely only wanted to win the Vlad Jr. bat and then break it live on camera.
No, I wanted to break it live on air just to upset Joe Rico. That was the point, because I'm a terrible person. And then I was going to burn it and laugh maniacally. So
I want the Sosa jersey, and I'm going to put it on a cork board. That's what I want.
There you go. That's nice. So, all right. So get going. Again, our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. Today I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez. I'm sticking with my boy, plus 440. That's where I want to live. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call? Actually, the guy you're picking, I just saw. And this was my second choice, so I hope it works out for you.
Yes, we're going to go with the Mike of Trouts against Alcantara. Let's get the Angels keep rolling. Let's get Mike Trout a little bit back on the board, and let's get me on the board. Plus 310 if you want to bet it over on FanDuel for a little home run call today. Trouty and Ramirez taking us home. Who is taking you guys home? Get up on that board, connect on the Discord, and get it going today. Win some Sammy Sosa.
And don't forget, drop your comments below if you're watching video on demand style on the YouTube, and you might win the Nico Hoerner jersey signed by Nico Hoerner. All the free Cubs stuff, too, if you're a Cubs fan. It's a good month to be hanging out with us on Leading Off. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your baseball.
Peace.
Was Sammy Sosa on the Kaiser Trex? That's a good question.
I love a Patty.
Oh, you
Patty.
I can't wait for you to surrender. That's what I can't.
Paris in April. Solar says they're going Paris just out of